Step back into the drama-filled world of Dallas, 1978 to 1991, the legendary TV series that captivated audiences with its tales of power, greed, and betrayal deep in the heart of Texas. While fans remember the gripping storylines and iconic characters like J.R. Ewing and Sue Ellen, the real-life stories of the actors behind the scenes are just as compelling, sometimes heartbreakingly so. From untimely deaths to tragic battles with illness, we reveal the personal struggles, causes of death, and lasting legacies of these unforgettable performers. In this video, we look back at the beloved stars of Dallas who have sadly passed away over the years. Larry Hagman, born September 21, 1931, began portraying the infamous J.R. Ewing in Dallas in 1978 at the age of 47. J.R. was the epitome of greed, manipulation, and ruthless ambition, becoming one of TV's most iconic villains. Off-screen, Hagman's personal life mirrored some of J.R.'s darker traits, filled with excesses and self-destruction. Known for his wild partying and excessive drinking, Hagman's off-screen antics often overshadowed his acting career. His notorious alcoholism was widely publicized, and in 1995, he faced a life-threatening liver failure, requiring a transplant. Despite his battles with addiction, his charisma and talent allowed him to continue working, becoming a beloved yet controversial figure. He also dealt with failed relationships and scandals involving affairs and explosive behavior on set. Hagman's legacy as J.R. remains unchallenged, but his personal life was marred by a constant struggle with his demons. He passed away on November 23, 2012, at age 81, due to complications from cancer, leaving behind a storied, complex legacy. Howard Keel, born April 13, 1919, joined Dallas in 1981 as Clayton Farlow at the age of 62. His character was a sharp contrast to the ruthless J.R., offering charm and old Hollywood glamour as an honorable oil baron. Keel's career was one of great highs, marked by his status as a star of classic Hollywood musicals. However, his personal life was far less serene. He faced multiple failed marriages, with scandalous rumors of infidelity following him throughout his life. Keel also grappled with cancer in his later years, leading to a long battle with the disease that took a toll on both his health and his career. Despite his robust presence on screen, his real-life struggles with illness and fractured relationships tainted his public image. Keel's final years were marred by his health battles, but his legacy remains in the rich, baritone voice that made him a star. He died on November 7, 2004, at age 85, after a prolonged battle with cancer. Ken Kirchival, born July 15, 1935, brought to life the righteous, yet often self-destructive, Cliff Barnes on Dallas starting in 1978 at age 43. Cliff's relentless pursuit of justice against the Ewing family made him both a hero and a tragic figure. Kirchival's real life mirrored some of his character's struggles. Known for being somewhat reclusive, his battles were largely personal, facing a serious lung cancer diagnosis in the 1990s, which resulted in the removal of part of his lung. While he was committed to his work on Dallas, Kirchival faced personal losses and health crises that often kept him out of the spotlight. His professional career was punctuated by several low points, including being overlooked for larger roles and dealing with public indifference toward his talents. In addition to his health struggles, Kirchival's personal life was tumultuous, marked by failed marriages and the toll that illness took on his mental health. He passed away on April 21, 2019, at the age of 83, after battling prolonged illness, leaving behind a quiet, yet enduring, mark on TV history. Barbara Belgettis, born October 31, 1922, portrayed the iconic Miss Ellie Ewing in Dallas starting in 1978 at the age of 56. Miss Ellie was the epitome of strength, grace, and maternal love, a character beloved by fans for her compassion. Yet behind her poised image, Belgettis' life was filled with personal challenges and heartbreak. She struggled with her health, suffering a heart attack in 1984, which forced her to leave the show temporarily, creating rumors and speculation about her departure. Belgettis had a difficult personal life, marked by a volatile marriage and a series of failed relationships that created a storm of emotional turmoil. Despite these struggles, she remained a respected actress, and her portrayal of Miss Ellie cemented her as a television legend. Her later years were marked by cancer, and she fought fiercely against it. Belgettis passed away on August 8, 2005, at the age of 82, leaving behind a legacy of grace amid a life filled with both triumph and tragedy. Rosanna Christensen, born March 11, 1951, portrayed Teresa, the Ewing family's devoted maid, in Dallas starting in 1982, when she was 31 years old. Teresa's role was crucial as she provided a grounding presence amid the chaos of the Ewing household. Christensen, also an ordained minister and acting coach, had a career marked by community-focused contributions. However, her personal life remained largely hidden behind her quiet on-screen presence. What most didn't know was the deep sense of loss she carried from her past, as a failed marriage left her struggling with loneliness and self-doubt. The true shock came when Christensen, often seen as the perfect woman on screen, was rumored to have had a secret, tumultuous relationship with a prominent Hollywood figure, which she never publicly acknowledged. This hidden aspect of her life contrasted sharply with the warm, unassuming character she portrayed. Rosanna passed away on July 14, 2022, at the age of 71, leaving behind a legacy that was both quiet and unspoken. George Kennedy, born February 18, 1925, joined Dallas as Carter McKay in 1988 at the age of 63. McKay was an intimidating and calculating rival to the Ewings, adding a new layer of tension to the series. Kennedy, who had won an Academy Award, was no stranger to adversity. His real-life persona, however, was far from the suave, cool-headed McKay he portrayed. In private, Kennedy was known for his explosive temper, which he sometimes couldn't control even off-screen. His life was further complicated by the pressure of constantly being typecast in roles that demanded a tough exterior, which led to personal struggles with his identity and self-worth. His tumultuous relationships with women, particularly a marriage that ended in a highly publicized divorce, overshadowed his professional successes. A secret alcohol addiction also plagued his later years, which affected his health. Kennedy passed away on February 28, 2016, at 91, after battling heart disease, but not before leaving a trail of scandal and regret behind him. Don Starr, born September 20, 1917, played Jordan Lee, a savvy oil baron and ally of the Ewings, beginning in 1978 when he was 61. On screen, Jordan Lee was shrewd, smooth, and strategic, a perfect counterpart to the Ewing family's dominance. In contrast, Starr's off-screen life was often overshadowed by a series of financial missteps and personal struggles that were kept under wraps. During the height of his career, Starr was involved in a messy legal battle concerning unpaid debts and tax evasion charges, which stained his reputation despite his seasoned work in Hollywood. His persona was one of charm, but behind the scenes, he had been known to indulge in dangerous gambling habits, squandering much of his fortune. He was often at odds with co-stars, earning a reputation for being difficult on set. Don Starr passed away on July 11, 1995, at 77 years old, following a tragic fall. His last years were marred by financial troubles, making his death a fittingly sorrowful end to a career that had once held promise. Jim Davis, born August 26, 1909, was cast as the rugged patriarch Jock Ewing in 1978 at the age of 69. Jock was the archetypal oil tycoon, strong-willed and often ruthless in his pursuit of power. Davis, however, struggled with his own battles off-screen. Despite his long, successful career in westerns, he had a penchant for alcohol that often led to erratic behavior, even at the height of his fame. Behind his towering presence on Dallas, Davis battled a growing isolation, strained by his increasing dependence on drinking, which distanced him from his co-stars and even his own family. His personal life was marked by a series of failed relationships, including a short-lived marriage to a woman who was rumored to have been emotionally abusive. In his final years, the toll of multiple myeloma caused Davis to retreat from the spotlight. He passed away on April 26, 1981, at the age of 71, leaving behind a legacy tainted by personal demons. Morgan Woodward, born September 16, 1925, portrayed Punk Anderson beginning in 1980, at the age of 55. As a trusted friend of the Ewing family and a seasoned oilman, Punk Anderson's role added an air of grit and loyalty to the show. However, Woodward's career was not without its shadows. A seasoned character actor, he was often cast in roles that emphasized his stoic, imposing presence. But behind the stoic facade, Woodward was known for his battles with alcoholism, a struggle he famously kept private for years. As his career progressed, Woodward faced several career setbacks, including being typecast in roles that failed to break new ground. His personal life mirrored this instability. His marriage, long considered tumultuous, ended in divorce amidst rumors of infidelity and bitterness. Despite these personal and professional challenges, Woodward's legacy remained intact, although his later years were marked by a quiet retreat from the spotlight. He died on February 22, 2019, at the age of 93, leaving behind a complex history of resilience and personal turmoil. Dak Rambo, born November 13, 1941, entered the world of Dallas as Jack Ewing in 1985, at 44 years old. Jack's character was adventurous and confident, but Rambo's own life would prove to be filled with darker chapters. While his portrayal of the dashing Ewing relative made him a heartthrob, behind closed doors, Rambo was privately battling an escalating series of personal crises. Rambo was known for his struggles with substance abuse, particularly cocaine, which often led to erratic behavior on set. Rumors of his off-screen behavior, including erratic outbursts and volatile relationships, circulated throughout Hollywood. His struggles with addiction were compounded by the revelation of his HIV diagnosis in the early 1990s. Despite his private suffering, Rambo was an outspoken advocate for AIDS awareness, using his public platform to bring attention to the crisis. Tragically, Rambo's life was cut short when he passed away on March 21, 1994, at the age of 52, leaving behind a legacy intertwined with both his on-screen charm and his very real battles with illness and addiction. Jared Martin, born December 21, 1941, became famous for his role as Dusty Farlow in Dallas starting in 1979 at the age of 38. Dusty, a rugged rodeo cowboy and Sue Ellen Ewing's love interest, added a passionate subplot to the series, yet Martin's personal life mirrored the chaos of his on-screen counterpart. His early career successes were followed by bouts of personal turmoil, including a series of failed relationships and a deep struggle with alcohol. Martin's romantic entanglements off-screen often echoed the drama his character was embroiled in, with rumors of affairs and volatile breakups making tabloid headlines. His career took a nosedive as he fell victim to typecasting, struggling to escape the cowboy role that had defined his career. Beyond his troubles with fame, Martin's health took a tragic turn in later years. He fought a quiet battle with pancreatic cancer, which was diagnosed only after he had already begun to show signs of decline. He passed away on May 24, 2017, at the age of 75, after a prolonged battle with cancer. Mae Gallagher, born January 23, 1950, played Luella, J.R. Ewing's secretary, in Dallas starting in 1978 at 28 years old. Gallagher's role was small, but her beauty and charm were undeniable. Yet, behind her on-screen efficiency, Gallagher's life was rife with chaos. Known for her wild personal life, she had a series of high-profile, brief relationships with prominent figures in Hollywood, including a brief romance with a co-star that ended explosively. Gallagher's public image was further damaged by rumors of erratic behavior and growing tension with the show's producers. Off-screen, Gallagher struggled with her own demons, including a spiraling battle with alcohol and drug addiction, which kept her out of the spotlight for long stretches. Her declining health worsened as she grew older, and by the end of her life, she was largely estranged from her family, her children reportedly growing frustrated with her inability to maintain relationships. Gallagher died on May 27, 2000, at the age of 50, from chronic liver disease, a tragic end to a life marked by fleeting fame and personal disarray. Tom Facello was born on December 11, 1936, and portrayed Dave Culver in Dallas starting in 1979 at the age of 43. Facello's career was defined by a steady presence in the theater, but his transition to television, particularly in Dallas, failed to elevate his fame as much as he had hoped. He suffered career setbacks when his political characters struggled to leave a lasting impact beyond the soap opera, and his involvement in the entertainment industry remained somewhat niche. Behind the scenes, Facello's personal life was marred by isolation. Although he was married for many years, he was known for his intense temper, which led to estranged relationships with his peers and caused him to be somewhat difficult to work with. His struggles didn't end there. Facello's battle with substance abuse was something only those close to him knew. His health deteriorated rapidly after he contracted AIDS, a diagnosis that was kept under wraps for years, leading to his untimely death at 56 on August 16, 1993, from AIDS-related complications. Gina Michaels, born on May 9, 1956, played Connie Brasher, Bobby Ewing's secretary, starting in 1978 at the age of 22. Connie's role in Dallas was not just as a professional foil to Bobby, but a character that subtly captured the power dynamics of corporate life. Michaels, however, had her own battles to fight behind the scenes. Her promising career in soap operas and television was marred by her own struggles with addiction. By the mid-1980s, she had developed a reputation for erratic behavior on set, often arriving drunk or late. Michaels' personal life was equally tumultuous, with failed relationships that garnered media attention. A high-profile engagement to a fellow actor ended in a scandal when it was revealed that he was involved in multiple infidelities. Michaels' personal battles overshadowed her career, and she struggled to find her footing in Hollywood as her acting opportunities dwindled. In her later years, Michaels was often seen in public advocating for awareness of lymphoma, the disease she was diagnosed with, until her death on May 23, 2018, at the age of 62. Donna Reed, born on January 27, 1921, took on the role of Miss Ellie Ewing in 1984 at the age of 63. The character, a strong matriarch in the Dallas saga, was a pivotal part of the Ewing family's narrative. Despite her well-established career, Reed's brief appearance on Dallas wasn't without controversy. The public and critics alike questioned her portrayal, especially compared to the beloved Barbara Belgettis, who had originally played the role. Behind the scenes, Reed was reportedly difficult to work with, known for her notoriously high standards and perfectionism. She struggled with the intense pressure of stepping into such an iconic role and eventually left the show. In her personal life, Reed's relationships were marred by heartbreak, including an ill-fated marriage and a series of rocky personal endeavors. She passed away from pancreatic cancer on January 14, 1986, at the age of 64. The career-defining scandals and the undercurrents of dissatisfaction she faced in her final years painted a tragic picture of the actress' legacy. Timothy Patrick Murphy, born on November 3, 1959, portrayed Mickey Trotter, Ray Krebs' nephew, in Dallas starting in 1982 at the age of 23. Mickey's tragic storyline, involving a car accident and a brief affair with a married woman, mirrored Murphy's personal life in some ways. As an openly gay actor in a time when Hollywood wasn't as accepting, Murphy faced constant discrimination and challenges to his career. His role on Dallas was seen as one of his brightest moments, but his career trajectory was constantly interrupted by scandalous rumors about his personal life, particularly his involvement with high-profile figures in the entertainment industry. Murphy's struggles with depression and substance abuse became more apparent as the years went on. His tragic passing on December 6, 1988 at just 29, due to AIDS-related complications, sent shockwaves through the Hollywood community, as it highlighted the darker, often hidden battles that many actors faced during the AIDS crisis. His early death left a legacy of what might have been, and a somber reminder of the brutal realities of life in the spotlight. Barry Jenner, born on January 14, 1941, portrayed Dr. Jerry Kenderson in Dallas starting in 1984 at the age of 43. Dr. Kenderson, a physician with a romantic interest in Sue Ellen Ewing, provided a touch of medical drama to the series, but Jenner's off-screen life was anything but smooth. While he maintained a relatively low profile in comparison to other Dallas cast members, Jenner's personal life was riddled with controversy. He was often criticized for his prickly attitude towards fellow actors, known to get into heated arguments with them behind the scenes. In addition to his reputation for being difficult, Jenner's private life was tainted by a long-running battle with gambling addiction. His struggles with debt became public knowledge, and his financial instability led to legal issues when he failed to pay off significant loans. Although his career in television remained steady, Jenner's personal life remained unstable until his death in 2016 from acute myeloid leukemia. He passed away on August 9, 2016, at the age of 75. Dennis Patrick, born on March 14, 1918, took on the role of Von Leland in 1979 at the age of 61. As a banker involved in many of the financial dealings of the Ewings, Leland was a character of complexity, but Patrick's life off-screen was far more dramatic. Behind his polished, seasoned persona lay a man battling alcoholism and difficult relationships with his peers. Patrick's personal life was littered with public scandals, including bitter divorces and conflicts within the Hollywood elite. His struggle to maintain his dignity amidst these personal issues was widely known, and his professional reputation began to suffer. Patrick's long and successful career was marred by the loss of roles due to his increasingly erratic behavior. On October 13, 2002, at the age of 84, Patrick died tragically in a house fire, leaving behind a career riddled with unspoken struggles and unresolved tragedies. Kate Reed, born November 4, 1930, appeared as Aunt Lil Trotter in 1982 at the age of 52. Though her character, the mother of Mickey Trotter, was a vital part of his storyline, Reed's time on Dallas was marred by internal conflict and professional dissatisfaction. A respected stage actress, Reed was known for her demanding nature, often clashing with the Dallas cast and crew. Off-screen, her personal life was tumultuous, filled with family disputes and a struggle to maintain a healthy work-life balance. She had a particularly difficult time dealing with the pressures of Hollywood and a number of failed relationships. Reed's reputation as a perfectionist led to isolation, and by the time she died of cancer on March 27, 1993, at the age of 62, her career had been reduced to just a footnote in her otherwise troubled life. The role of Aunt Lil became an ironic symbol of the battles she fought behind the camera, which many of her fans were unaware of. Jeff Cooper, born March 9, 1936, played Dr. Simon Elby, Sue Ellen Ewing's psychiatrist, on Dallas in 1979 at the age of 43. Dr. Elby's role was crucial in unraveling the psychological complexities of Sue Ellen's character. Off-camera, Cooper led a life full of tumult, with whispered rumors about his own personal demons. Known for his volatile personality, Cooper's relationships on set were often strained, and he was frequently described as difficult to work with. His life was marked by a series of failed relationships and personal battles with addiction, often leading to conflicts with the press. Though his role on Dallas was a notable highlight, it was overshadowed by the darker aspects of his off-screen life, including his struggles with fame and a reputation for erratic behavior. Cooper passed away on March 24, 2018, at the age of 82. His cause of death remains undisclosed, leaving the mystery of his life in untold secrets. Lawrence Haden, born October 25, 1922, portrayed Franklin Horner, a business associate of the Ewings, beginning in 1980 at the age of 58. While his character added intrigue to the business plots of Dallas, Haden's own life was anything but orderly. Known for his charm and sharp wit on-screen, off-screen, Haden was embroiled in personal struggles with addiction and depression. His marriages were notoriously unstable, with multiple divorces and allegations of infidelity. Haden's career was plagued by his refusal to conform to Hollywood's expectations, often rejecting roles in favor of a more bohemian lifestyle. His relationships with colleagues were tense, with many describing him as unpredictable and difficult to work with. Haden passed away on May 10, 2013, at the age of 90. Though his career spanned decades, his time on Dallas left an indelible mark of professional conflict, scandal, and personal decline, which many never fully understood. Who's your favorite character in Dallas? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.